Hello, my self-motivated friends. Welcome to this fourth lecture in the series of lecture on bills of exchange, chapter number 7. In the previous lecture, we have discussed the basic entries for accounting of a bill of exchange which is retained by the drawer. That was the first problem we solved. Bill of exchange which is retained by the drawer, and we considered three different alternative situations. Number 1, if it is honored. Number 2, if it is dishonored. And number 3, if it is dishonored and the drawer decided to go for paying noting charges. We studied the fantastic entry of noting charges. We understood a very important concept. जिसका मिस्टेक उसका खर्चा. जो चूक करतो त्याला चुकीचा परिणाम भोगायला लागतो. The person who makes the mistake must bear the charges for the mistake. This point we had understood, and accordingly in the books of drawer the entry for noting charges, and in the books of drawee the entry for noting charges was passed by us. I hope you remember the entry. Noting charges entry in the books of drawer is, yes, drawee account debit to cash or bank account, and in the books of drawee the entry will be noting charges account debit, but cash is not going out, noting charges account debit to drawer account. We also studied how for honor as well as for dishonor ultimately bill of exchange gets cancelled. Only thing is, if cash is going out or cash is coming in, then it is honored. And if it is dishonored, in that case cash is neither coming in nor going out. That means it is the drawer and drawee's account, or creditor and debtor's account will have to be considered. We also studied the point of how to draw the format of journal. Left hand side page we are considering generally for the supplier or seller or creditor or the drawer. And right hand side page we are considering for the drawee who is purchaser or buyer or a debtor. And I had told you in my presentation I am going to consider left hand side with light yellow color or pale yellow color. On the right hand side I am going to consider pale green color. So it will be easy for you to understand that there are two different books, not one single account having debit and credit side. There are two different books. So that is all about our previous lecture. Simple lecture of bill retained and either honored or dishonored with noting charges. Now comes the next lecture. In this lecture I am going to solve three problems. Okay, small problems. So it's a small lecture. If you remember, when we discussed the life of a bill of exchange, we had considered there are four different routes, four different roads, four different ways in which a bill of exchange may go in its own life. First one was bill retained, second one was bill discounted with the bank, and the definition of discounting was selling the bill to the bank is called as discounting of a bill. What is the meaning of discounting? The idea is there is a due date of the bill. I hope I had you remember what I had specified. In case of a check, the day on which it is drawn it becomes alive and it becomes payable immediately. In case of a bill of exchange, the day on which it is drawn and accepted it becomes enforceable but not payable. It will become payable only upon completion of the term. The term may be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, that is also possible. And sometimes the bill of exchange may not have any term. In that case it is called as payable on demand. Three types of bill: after date, after sight, and on demand on sight. So the logic to be kept in mind is that a bill of exchange, if it is drawn and accepted, it has become live, but it has not become payable like a check. It will become payable after the completion of its tenure, or after the completion of its term, or after the completion of its period, which is mentioned in the bill of exchange. 3 months after the date, or 4 months after date, or 6 months after sight. That is the period of bill of exchange, upon completion of which the bill of exchange becomes payable. I am repeating for the last time before I go ahead. Check becomes live on the day on which it is prepared, but it becomes payable immediately. The day on which it is mentioned that from this date it is payable immediately. We can give a post-dated check. That check is drawn today, but it is mentioned to be of tomorrow's date or maybe day after tomorrow's date. In that case it will become live after day after tomorrow or on day after tomorrow. So let us say on 20th of December you are drawing a check, but on the check you are putting the date of 1st of January. Then the check becomes live on 1st of January, not today, and it becomes payable from 1st January. So the date which is mentioned on the top of the check is the date when it becomes alive, and is the date on which it becomes payable, and it remains payable for a period of next 3 months. Thereafter it becomes a stale check and it is useless. Bank will not honor the same. But in case of a bill of exchange, if on 20th January it is mentioned that 6 months after date, or 20th December, if it is mentioned 6 months after date, that means it has become live today. But it will become payable not today, it will become payable after completion of 6 months plus 3 days, that is grace days. So now the period of bill is there, 6 months, 5 months, 4 months, 3 months, as the case may be. If it so happens that during this period, the drawer in whose cash box the bill is lying is in urgent need of cash. What he can do? He can make a phone call to the drawee. He can tell the drawee that bill date is after 6 months. But I'm in urgent need of cash today. So if you pay me now, early, only 3 months have lapsed. Only 4 months have lapsed. Bill life is 6 months. Only 4 months have expired. 2 more months are yet to expire. Unexpired period of the bill is 2 months. But please pay me early. Since you are paying me early, I'll allow you discount. Yes, he can say like that. If the drawee is having cash at that point of time, he will surely go for making payment. Drawee will make the payment and he will settle the bill. We'll get a discount if drawee is having cash. But if the drawee is not having cash, in that case he will say, sorry sir, I would have surely enjoyed to avail the discount. But unfortunately I too don't have cash. You are in urgent need of cash. I appreciate, I understand. It's a business. Sometimes cash requirement may come up suddenly. But I too don't have cash with me. So your discount offer is very gracious offer. Your discount offer is very good offer. But since I don't have cash, I cannot pay. Now what the drawer will do? If he is in urgent need of cash, he can go to his banker. He can tell the banker that I have got a written proof, an instrument which is controlled by law. So if the other party doesn't pay, in that case we can go to the court of law. It has got its own rules. So don't worry, if you are in a position to give me the money today itself. Who is telling this particular thing? The drawer is telling. To whom the drawer is telling this thing? To the banker. That please pay me money today and I will give this written promise, written proof to you, which you can then take to the drawee on the due date and drawee will pay you. So the banker will immediately give money to the drawer. The banker will immediately give money to the drawer. Drawer should have received money after the period of 6 months has ended. Today only 4 months have ended. 2 months are yet to complete. Still, the drawer is in a position to get money. From the banker. Then banker is not going to do this free of cost. Banker is going to charge interest. Normally what happens, if it is 100 rupees loan given by the banker and we are required to repay it, let us take an example at 10% interest after 1 year. 100 rupees loan, 10% interest after 1 year. Then what will happen? We will repay 110 rupees to the banker. Banker will say pay the principal 100 rupees plus pay interest 10 rupees. Since it is 1 year loan, and since it is 12-month period which has lapsed from the date of loan up to the date of repayment, 1 year period has lapsed. So pay me 110 rupees. That is how normal loans will work. Alternatively, in case of bill of exchange now, the situation will be totally different. If suppose the bill of exchange is of 1 year period, just example, same situation, 100 rupees bill of exchange is there. The duration of the bill is 1 year. So the drawee will pay after 1 year. But drawer is in urgent need of cash. Therefore, the drawer is asking for discounting of the bill with the banker. The drawee has failed to pay. Drawee is saying that I will not pay now, I will pay after 1 year. So drawer is going to the banker and requesting the banker that please discount the bill. I am selling the bill to you. You pay me the cash today itself. Banker will say okay, rate of interest is 10%. So the drawer is thinking okay, in that case I am supposed to pay 110 rupees. Banker will say no, that is not the case. That is a normal loan. In case of normal loan, the banker is giving loan to you and you are repaying the money to the banker. Whereas in case of discounting, you are selling the bill to the banker and banker will go to the drawee for asking payment. So drawee will make 100 rupees payment only. Drawee will not make 110 rupees payment. So banker will specify this is not a normal loan. In case of normal loan, the banker gives the loan to the borrower and borrower repays the money to the banker. So banker can request, banker can expect, banker can dictate, banker can tell the borrower that pay me the principal plus pay me the interest. But in case of bill of exchange, which is discounted, the drawer goes to the banker, takes money from the banker, gives bill of exchange to the banker, banker gives money to the drawer, banker waits till the due date, and after the due date is over or on the due date, banker will go to the drawee and will ask payment from drawee. That means the loan is given to the drawer, but repayment will be done by the drawee. So if the banker is going to tell the drawee that this is a bill of exchange, pay me, drawee is ready to pay, banker is telling but pay me 110 rupees. Drawee will say sorry, the amount written on bill of exchange is 100 rupees, I am going to pay you 100 rupees. So now the banker is in a difficulty. Banker has already given me 100 rupees and on the due date, drawee will not pay even a single rupee more than 100 rupees. So banker has lost money. That difficulty should not happen. Therefore, the banker will come up with a new idea. What the banker will specify? I want 10 rupees interest. Drawer is going to the banker, showing the bill of rupees 100, having a duration of 1 year, drawn on the drawee. Banker is telling, I want 10 rupees interest, but drawee will not pay 10 rupees interest at the time of due date. So today only I will deduct the interest. And instead of giving the drawer 100 rupees, banker will give only 90 rupees to the drawer. So from the banker's pocket, 90 rupees will get out and they will get in the pocket of drawer. Then banker will wait for 1 year. Then on the due date, banker will go to the drawee's office, will show the bill of exchange to the drawee. Drawee will pay him 100 rupees. So banker will get 100 rupees from the drawee and banker has paid 90 rupees to the drawer. It means the banker has got 10 rupees in his pocket very perfectly. So here you will find that interest is not going to be repaid along with principal at the end of the loan or at the end of the period, but interest is going to be deducted while granting loan itself. That's why this interest is also called as discount. It is as good as 100 rupees bill sold at a discount of 10 rupees. That means 90 rupees can be considered as the amount received. So this discount is basically an interest which is recovered by the banker in advance. That's why it is called as discount. So in today's lecture, I just want to solve the problem of calculation of discount, nothing more than that. No journal entries in this problem in this lecture. In the next lecture, I'm going to consider entries for discounted bill, and I'm going to consider the entry for discounted bill honored as well as dishonored, and noting charges paid by the banker. Beautiful entries, very beautiful entries. Many students get confused in those entries. But the way in which we are going to solve those entries, you will find that it is very easy. So don't worry about it. At this moment, let us focus only on one thing, how to calculate discount. Okay, so let us concentrate down on the problems. This is the first problem which we had already solved. And this is the second problem in our entire series. And first problem of calculation of discount. I want to solve such 3 questions of calculation of discount. Rahul draws a bill on Atul for rupees 15,000 on 1st April 2019, payable after 4 months. Calculate the amount of discount in the following cases. Rahul draws the bill on Atul for rupees 15,000 on 1st April 2019, payable after 4 months. Calculate the amount of discount in the following cases. First case, the bill has been discounted at the rate of 10% per annum on 1st April 2019. The day on which the bill is drawn, the day on which the bill is accepted, immediately on the same day it is discounted with the banker. Or the bill has been discounted at the rate of 10% per annum on 1st June 2019. Now remember, the bill is drawn on 1st April and the bill is for a period of 4 months. So April to May, May to June, June to July, July to August, 4 months. That is the period of the bill. April to May, May to June, June to July, July to August. So it is on 1st of August that the nominal due date will fall. Plus 3 days. That means 4th of August is the legal due date of the bill. And instead now they are discounting the bill on 1st April 2019 itself or on 1st June 2019. Then how to calculate the discount? That is the question we are thinking of. Okay. So let me start with the question. Just a minute. Let me disappear from the screen. And let me consider now how to solve this situation. First case is it is for 4 months and it is discounted on 1st April 2019 itself. So let me draw the text box. Yes. Situation 1. Situation 1, just a minute. I'll take a different format so it will take proper space, not more than that. Yeah, situation 1. If it is discounted on 1st April 2019. Now the date of drawing and the date of discounting is exactly same. Since the date of drawing and date of discounting is exactly same, I can specify that the entire period of bill is still pending. So the banker will specify that if you are discounting the bill today, then although you are getting cash today, the banker will get cash after 4 months. So banker will have to wait for 4 months. Since the banker will have to wait for 4 months, he will charge you interest for 4 months. Okay, so interest will be for how many months? 4 months. So I'll specify interest is equal to amount of bill into rate of interest into unexpired period divided by 12 months. Why 12 months? Because the period of bill is given in 12 months. I hope it is easy to understand. Okay, unexpired period, EXPIRED, upon 12 months. So let us calculate interest now. Interest is equal to, let me disappear, yes, amount of bill is how much? Amount of bill is 15,000 into what is the rate of interest? 10% into what is unexpired period of the bill? 4 months upon 12 months. Okay, so interest is equal to how much? Come on, be quick. I am waiting for you to calculate. Interest is equal to how much? 15,000 into 10%, that goes to 1,500. 15,000 into 10% is equal to 1,500, and this 1,500 is for full year, but we are going to consider only for 4 months. So into 4 divided by 12, that goes to how much? So 4 by 12 is equal to 1/3. So 1500 into 1/3, that goes to how much? 500. So interest is equal to 500, and net amount, the problem has not asked it, but I am calculating it. Net amount received from the banker is equal to amount of bill minus amount of discount. Amount of bill minus amount of discount. So that is equal to net amount received is equal to, I'll remove the word from the banker so it will be easy for us to complete the thing. Anyway, the amount is received from the banker only because we are discounting the things. Amount of bill minus amount of discount. So amount of bill is how much? 15,000 minus amount of discount is how much? 500. So that goes to how much? 14,500. I hope it is easy for you to understand. If required, pause the video, get this particular thing written properly, and then resume the video to solve with me the second situation. Okay, so this is situation number 1. Let me underline the same and keep it bold. Yes, you can pause the video now and write down the things properly. Once it is written, then we can go for the next part. Okay, very good. Let me reduce the size of the formula, bill amount into rate of interest into unexpired period upon 12 months, because the period of bill is given in months. Yes. Okay, very nice. Let us consider second situation. What is the second situation? If the bill is discounted on which date? If the bill is discounted on 1st of June, not 1st of April, but 1st of June. Then again formula is same, interest is equal to bill amount into rate of interest into unexpired period upon 12 months. So 15,000 is same, 10% is same, but the period will not be 4 months now. Now April to May and May to June, 2 months are already over. So June to July and July to August, 2 months are pending. So it will be into 2 months upon 12 months. So the interest will be 15,000 into 10% is equal to 1,500 into 4 by 12 was 500. So into 2 by 12 means uska आधा, जैसे आधे के जैसा है 250 rupees. Okay, and then the net amount received will be 15,000 minus 250. Why the banker is charging lower interest here? Bill का amount same है, rate of interest same है, still the banker is charging lesser interest, lesser amount of interest. What is the reason? Because the banker after giving money to us, will have to wait only for 2 months now, because the bill period although maybe 4 months, 2 months are already over. So banker will have to wait only for remaining period of 2 months for the purpose of getting money from the drawee. So we are using banker's money. Banker is giving his money to us to use only for 2 months period. So banker can charge interest only for 2 months period. That is the idea of 2 months. We are required to consider not the total period, but we should consider always the unexpired period. I hope it is easy for you to understand. Let us go for the second question. Shivam drawn a bill. Actually draws चाहिए वो. Shivam draws a bill on Ganesh for 21,900 on 15th of May 2019 for 60 days, 60. Okay, 15th of May 2019, very good. He discounts the bill on the same day with his bank at 8% per annum. Calculate the amount of discount. Now the point which I would like you to remember, in the previous case, the period was given in months. Okay, whereas in this case the period is given in days. Months, we are always considering 12 months, whether it is leap year or it is not a leap year, always 12 months. But when it comes to days, you have to be careful, because the denominator here was 12 months. Now the denominator is going to be number of days, because the numerator is in days, denominator will have to be in days. In such a situation, you will have to be careful to check whether the year is a leap year or not a leap year. This is 15th of May 2019, not a leap year. Leap year means which is fully divisible by 4. Okay, so that will be considered as leap year. In such a case, the denominator will not be 365 days, denominator will be 366 days. So let me just disappear from the screen and let me, and then let me consider the same format. Yes. If the bill is discounted on which date? On 15th of May itself. 15th of May. The date of drawing and the date of discounting is same. Date of drawing and date of discounting is same, then I need not worry. That means the full period can be considered. Bill amount into rate of interest into unexpired period upon, now since it is 2019, that means I can consider 365 days. I hope it is easy to understand. It is 365 days. Clear to all of you? 365 days. If it would have been 2020, I would have considered 366 days. So the amount of bill is how much? 21,900. Being a professor and using a PowerPoint as a software for the purpose of writing, my work is little bit easy. I can quickly copy the things and complete the things. So into now 60 days is the period of the bill. Unexpired period is 60 days upon 365 days. Okay, so let us calculate the money. And the rate of interest is not 10%, rate of interest is 8%. Yeah, rate of interest is 8%. That is one of the problems of copy paste. Sometimes you may just forget what is from the previous problem and what is of this problem. Chalo, everybody is calculating, I hope. 21,900 into 8% into 60 divided by 365. Use rough page and calculate the amount. It comes to 288. So the amount of interest is 288. Interest can be called as interest, or it can also be called as discount. Okay, so net amount received is equal to amount of bill minus amount of discount, or you can say amount of interest. I'll call it here also amount of interest or slash discount. Okay, so no tension for you. Discount. Yes. So it will be amount of bill was 21,900 minus 288. So tell me the answer. 21,900 minus 288. 21,900 minus 288 is equal to 21,612. So we'll consider 21,612. Okay, so this is not a situation. Okay, interest or discount we can specify. It is one and the same. Okay, 365 days. In the previous solution also, let me add the word discount there, interest or discount. Okay, interest or discount. Interest or discount, amount of bill minus amount of discount. That is good, very nice. Just a moment. And here also I'll do the same thing. discount, and here also I'll consider the same. Okay, very good. Now let us consider next point. Last question of today's discussion. Pankaj drawn a bill on Sanjay for rupees 25,620 on 1st March 2020. Oh, 1st March 2020. Please look at the problem carefully. 1st March 2020. 2020 is telling you that it is a leap year. If period is given in days, then we will have to divide it not by 365 but by 366 days. He discounts the bill on the same day with his bank at 10% per annum. Calculate the amount of discount. Let me again copy the same thing and quickly calculate the same. Okay, so calculation of discount, let us complete the thing. Bill amount into rate of interest into unexpired period upon 366 days. Why 366 days? Because we are having leap year. The amount of bill was 25,620. Rate of interest is 10%. Period of the bill is 90 days. On the same day it is discounted, so no problem. But divided by 366 days. Why 366? Because it's a leap year. Come on, take your rough page, go to the back side of your notebook and then calculate the things quickly. 25,620 into 10% is equal to, last ka zero cancel, that becomes 2562 into 90 upon 366. That goes to, yes, calculate on your own and then check the things, 630 rupees. Okay, so 25,620 minus 630. 25,620 minus 630 is equal to 24,990 is the net cash received from the bank. Okay, so if it is required, pause the video, check the calculation and then resume the video. I hope you have understood the basic idea of calculation of discount. It is always the amount of bill multiplied by the rate of interest multiplied by the unexpired period of the bill, remaining bill, not the total period. In the third illustration which I have solved just now, 90 days. In the previous equation, 60 days. There was no tension because the date of drawing the bill and the date of discounting the bill is exactly the same on the same day. Okay, on the same day. So it is since on the same day, that's why the total period of the bill became the unexpired period of the bill. But take the case of first question A part, or first question sub part A, sub question A, it is the same date, but say sub question B is the second date or the next date. In that case the unexpired period is changing. Here the unexpired period was 4 months in the first situation, but unexpired period has become 2 months in the second situation. I hope all of you have understood the basic idea of how the calculation is made. Okay, so in this problem we have only discussed how the banker charges the amount of interest and how he recovers it at the time of discounting itself. That's why instead of calling it as interest, we call it as discount. It is recovered from the principal component itself. So accordingly, the amount of advance which is given by the banker to the drawer, that itself gets reduced. So the amount of advance received from the banker is equal to the total amount of bill minus the amount of discount. Although it is called as discount, it is basically interest. That's why it is dependent on the period. Which period? Unexpired period. And one more concept we have understood: if the period is given in months, then there is no tension. If on the other hand, if the period is given in days, then we'll have to be careful whether it is leap year or not. Okay, so these are the points I wanted to discuss with you in this lecture. Thank you very much for being with me. In the next lecture, I'm going to consider the most important part of bill of exchange, that is journal entries for discounting of a bill, honoring the discounted bill, dishonoring the discounted bill, and noting charges of discounted bill. The most crucial part of bill of exchange. Once that is understood, then bill of exchange is literally very child's play for you. So be with me. Okay, thank you very much.